What's up, everybody? Buck Bowen here. And I want to talk about probably the realest quote I've ever heard in my entire life. And it comes from a man by the name of Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn said that our lives are mostly affected by the way we think things are, not the way they are. Okay, so how does this relate to magic? Well, I'm glad that you asked. In fact, I would put the question back on you and I would say, well, how does it not relate to magic? But now we're in a debate and that's not really where I wanted to go with this, so I'll just answer the question. How about that? Number one, if you're, say, doing walk around or you're at a cocktail party, when it comes to approaching people, or even doing street magic, right? Approaching people on the street. Another one is don't run when you're not being chased. And the third one would be getting gigs. And the bottom line is we behave based on what we believe. And we especially want to act consistent with our self-image. So if you're thinking, you know what, they're probably busy, or you know, it'd probably be rude for me to approach them, two people having an argument or looking like they're having an argument, like and you don't want to approach and interrupt that moment, right? And you'd be hard pressed to find anybody who would disagree with you on that, because of course it's obvious. Okay, now, yeah, there are better and worse ways of approaching people, but you have no clue. Your magic could actually be what turns their night around. And so the point here is, if you believe that it would be rude, or if you believe that you would be interrupting them, or if you believe that you know, they don't really like magic, you're going to act based on that belief and therefore not take any action. Because if you believe that what you have is a gift of value and can actually be helpful and entertaining and fun, then of course you would want to approach them. I mean, who wouldn't want to help out a couple people who are not having a very good night? You know, a classic example is running when you're not being chased. You think that if you're doing this thing over here, they're going to think this other thing, and so then what do? You start adding all this stuff. You start doing these extra bits that for sure don't add to the effect and probably actually take away from it. In their mind, you're just doing this and that, whereas in your head, you're like, oh my God, are they going to notice that? Okay. Thirdly, getting gigs. Okay. You know, maybe there's a restaurant that you've had your eye on that you want to just pick up the phone and call, but you know, you're kind of thinking, yeah, you know, it's just this kind of a place. They probably don't even need a magician, or you know, I don't see a whole lot of people in there anyway, and so like financially for them, it probably wouldn't even make sense to hire a magician. And essentially, you talk yourself out of, again, taking that action. Another quote that's quite amazing comes from Wayne Gretzky. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And so again, our lives are mostly affected by the way we think things are. If you catch yourself thinking a certain way, and as a result of that, withholding taking action, that's something that would be to your benefit and to others to correct that. You pick up the phone and call. Call the pizza shop. Hey, you're looking for a magician. I'm not saying that that's the line you should use, okay? Remember, there are better and worse ways of doing this, but look, call the pizza shop, okay? Just call the pizza shop. Approach the disinterested looking group. And then in terms of running when you're not being chased, just slow down, you know, to maybe a power walk. Anyway, I wanted to share this quote with you because it just, throughout my life, it has paid dividends. And I'm hoping that you can benefit from it as well. Thank you.
To the pessimist, the glass is always half empty. To the optimist, the glass is half full. Why would the same measure affect people two different ways? Answer: it all depends on how you look at it. Our lives are mostly affected by the way we think things are, not the way they are. The way we think they are affects us most.